Hi everyone. How to be right side up in an upside down world. It's obvious our world is turned upside down. And so I want to offer you some strategies, some thoughts through these next sessions about how to live right side up when our world is upside down. In seminar we teach obstacles or opportunities to be courageous. But there are also opportunities to be creative and to connect. We'll break some of these things down in our later videos, but right now I want to give you a strategy that I'm working on that's working for me, and that's the three areas that I need to focus on, and that is my physical movement. I'm outside, it's a beautiful day. My mind, what I'm telling myself, what I'm thinking about, and what I'm speaking. I was talking to a friend of mine, Steve Howell, many of you know him, and he was telling me how that he was back at his place and he was thinking about some things he could do since we're in isolation. And he thought of his goats and some hobbies he's been working on. He restores old cars. So he got up and he began to work with his goats and his fencing and the different projects he had. And at the end of the day, he felt fulfilled. He felt like he made a difference. So I want to apply that to what I call the tripod for lasting change. Three things, three areas for you to consider focusing on during these days. Now, number one is my mind. What's the story you're telling yourself about these days? They're dark, they're despairing, they're frustrating, and that will lead to the feeling of depression. And so watching our language, our mouth, the good book says there is power of death and life in the tongue. So my mind, what I'm thinking about, my mouth, what I'm speaking, and then my emotions, my physiology, actually taking action and doing something physically. Now, Steve talked, that's what he did. He sent me pictures of his goats and the little house he had out there for him, and he's got a tractor. He's staying physically moving. So those are the three areas that I'm going to challenge you to focus on. Your mind, your mouth, and your motions or your movement. That I'm having to focus on what I'm thinking, my mind, what I'm speaking, what I'm saying, and then movement and moving our bodies. A friend of mine, Denise Ruddick, many of you might know her. She made this statement when we were talking the other day. We weren't born for isolation. However, at this time, we're required to be physically isolated, but it's unhealthy to be emotionally isolated. So if my mind, I'm thinking, I'm alone and I'm destitute and it's dark and depressing, changing my mind, changing my mouth, what I'm speaking, changing my emotions, and become connected, because see, connection produces protection. See, isolation produces despair and frustration and depression, but connection produces protection. When I'm connected with my loved ones, then I'm able to when I'm down, they lift me up. I'm able to, share my dreams and my desires. So staying connected. So the simple point I wanted to make, how to be right side up in an upside down world, watch your language, my talk, what I'm speaking. Watch my mind, what I'm thinking, and be aware of my physical motions. I could sit on the back porch just rocking away and gloom, despair, and agony on me. Or I could use this obstacle as an opportunity to be creative and to connect. We're going to talk more about that in getting back to the basics, but I hope those things will help you to stay right side up in an upside down world. Thanks for listening, and we'll chat soon.